I had today's episode all figured out. I was going to get in a new star signing. We were going to take on St. Albans. It's first versus second. It's big. And then the new signing didn't get back to me. And now we're just sat waiting for him to reply. Diamond Edwards, everyone. An incredible player, I think we can all agree. Released from Southampton's academy. He's been on trial. He's accepted a contract offer to the end of the year. I couldn't get him for any longer than that. I mean, he is absolutely phenomenal. And then he's left me on red. And I'm now just waiting for him to reply. So, yeah, I don't have the secret weapon today. St. Albans, very, very good towards the top of the table. I'm scared for today. 11 games left of the year. A win here. We go comfortably top. Yeah, that's right. I haven't really made a big enough deal of that, have I? We're top of the league. It's only downhill from here now, isn't it? Anyway, let's roll the intro. I'm excited for today. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back. This is episode number 15 or 16. I'm going to guess 16. If it's 15, this is all very awkward. We never speak of this moment again. We're here at Three Bridges, and for the first time in a little while, we just have the one game today. But at the end of today's episode, I want to talk about what the plan is with this save game, because, of course, Park to Prem, sometimes it's been a one-club save like at Towlaw. Last year, we hopped around a little bit, and we are kind of approaching the point now, I feel like, 2+ years into our time at our first club, where I do need to make a decision as to what actually is the plan here. So then we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But first, what's happened since you were last here? Well, on the pitch, things have gone absolutely incredibly. So much so, I won Manager of the Month for January. I feel like I've not won Manager of the Month very much. Of course, last episode, we got two really important wins. Two important wins that came after 5 games without a win. And from there, we've got some momentum. We've made it 7 wins in a row, which is a club record. The first game we had was against Boas and Pitsy. We won this one 4-2. Gayla, Dowdy, Sadiq, and Aaron Ben with the goals. I don't know why I'm stumbling over the name Aaron Ben. I feel like that must be the most said name this year. Yeah, really, really convincing performance, this one. They kept pegging us back. We actually came back from behind, but we should have won it. It was one of those games where it probably should have been 4-0 rather than 4-2, but we're not going to complain. And from there, a couple of good wins against teams fairly local to us. The first was against Burgess Hill, 2-0 away win, a team who, of course, won the league that we were in last year, were promoted with us, and as we took that step up and really added some quality, they've not done that this year. They currently sit mid-table. Tobin and Dowdy with the goals. Tobin actually got a goal and an assist in this game, so a really good performance for him at right back. That goal, the first ever in Three Bridges colours for him, so big moment. The next match we had was against Horsham. Local rivals, lost on them in the cup. Of course, we got a red card that time. In this game, they got 2 red cards, and yet it still only finished 2-1. Yeah, this is one of those games where I really wish we could put our foot to the neck of Horsham and just get a really convincing result. I think it's something that Man City do so well in real football. They show no mercy. We showed a little bit of mercy here. We were 2-0 up. They scored very late on. To be honest, never got too worried, he says. Might have been a little bit nervous at the end of the game. Ultimately, though, 2-1 win, really convincing against 9 men. Would have liked a couple more, really. And then just the 2 games from February to talk about. The first was against Malden and Tiptree, a team who, if I'm not mistaken, are kind of knocking on the door of the playoffs. So a good little win here. Aaron Ben got the goal. And then most recently, an 8-goal thriller against Kingstonian. Yeah, this was a mad one. Gayla and Dowdy put in some top quality performances. Dowdy got a hat-trick. Is he back to the Dowdy of old? Aaron Ben, at one point, was averaging 2 goals a game. He has slowed down a lot. Other players have had to step up. And to be fair, Dowdy has started to step up. I feel like under any other circumstances, 11 goals in 24 would be seen as quite respectable, really. But yeah, a 5-3 win. It was a close game. We also had a penalty missed by a new signing. I was hoping he was going to score that penalty to have a better transition to talk about him. But here we have Carl Eppel. I keep calling him the Apple, which obviously isn't his name. He's an Austrian under-19 international, was playing for St. Neots, but was released by them. I'm not sure why they released him, but we've decided to move in, sign him up, 17 years old. For us, he is going to be a good little option, perhaps at centre attacking mid. At 17, though, loads of potential. If we just compare him to Isaac, who was our super sub who wasn't very super. You might remember Isaac, Romanian chap, youngster, looked like the star player when we first came in. He's been useless. Here he is compared to Carl. Carl is just better in every single way. So, yeah, Isaac probably going to end his contract here at the club at the end of the year and not get renewed. Carl could be a very good super sub. And well, as you've already seen from the league table in the intro, we're doing very well right now. Really, really well. We're top of the league. St Albans, of course, the team breathing down our necks. Elsewhere, Margate, Coggeshall Town, Enfield Town and Corinthian Casuals all not a million miles away, but a win here could put us 4 points clear at the top of the table. We still have the best goal difference in the league. We have comfortably scored more than everyone else. Defensively, we've been very middle of the road, to be honest. 36 goals conceded in 31 isn't that impressive. But that said, I feel like we are probably worth our position right now. If we just look at past league positions, I was previously looking at Corinthian Casuals, but you can see here how it really has been ourselves and St Albans battling it out at the top of the table for a little while. The reason I had Corinthian Casuals highlighted is because we play them towards the end of the year, and I thought they might be the team to be scared of this season. If we just look at the kind of pre-season billing, you can see here they were made massive, massive favourites. And when you look at the kind of best team in the league, it's just full of players playing for Corinthian Casuals. I was having a look through some of these players as well. Players like Jack Spong, very, very good player for this level. They seem to have picked up a load of players just released from top quality teams. And the standard of their squad is one that probably should be top of the table. But as you've seen, they have slipped down the table just a little bit. They're down in 6th. I thought they would be kind of perhaps the one team pushing ourselves and St Albans. It's not really happened. And I'm hoping, the way things are going, that the game that we play against them towards the end of the year won't matter that much. I realise by talking about it in detail like this, when inevitably next episode we come back at the end of the year and that game means a massive amount, it's going to look like I predicted it all to happen. It just feels inevitable. There's always that big scary team in the league that underperform, at the end of the year come good, and then they beat you and you get sad and upset, and I think they could be that team. So the team's been in really, really good form. 7 wins in a row is a club record, and when you look across the last 5 games and the ratings, I mean, everyone in the team is playing really, really well. There's no other way of trying to sell it, really. Curtis Gaylor's been a super standout performer on a 7.82. Elsewhere, Cardo Sadiq has done superbly. Of course, he got 2 goals last episode. He's only actually scored 1 goal in his last 5 games, but this man just seems to so consistently get ridiculously high ratings. A 7.85 for a centre-back, and I know people are going to say, well, he's a centre-back who scores a load. The reality is he's only scored 4 goals in 29. His goal scoring really hasn't been that incredible. You know, he's the kind of player who I thought might be able to get into double figures at this level with 18 jumping reach, but that's really not how things are materialised. You can see, though, he wins a lot of his tackles, 528 clearances in 29 games. Sounds absolutely mental. And it is for those reasons that he currently sits top of the average ratings alongside Aaron Ben and Curtis Gaylor. Yeah, it's a very, very Three Bridges dominant player stats, isn't it, when you look at the goals, average ratings and assists. Molyneux and Gaylor really doing the business from set pieces for us. Worth noting, we have had our youth intake preview. As always at this level, not really expecting a great deal. If we got through the best wonder kid in the world, fantastic. Unlikely to happen. Predicted to be an average intake. I know these all say A's here. Look, they're lies. They're lies. Remember last year's intake where we had some really good players? There was the South Korean chap coming into the team. You might remember. He looked exciting, didn't he? I mean, look at him now. He's got 3-star potential, 2.5 grey stars current ability. The reality is that we get told about all these great players coming for our youth intakes. More often than not, they're not that good. It's just a great big lie. And I'd love a golden generation, but it ain't going to happen. Now, one thing I am a little bit wary of is we've had a quite high turnover of players over the last couple of years. Yes, the likes of Gaylor are still around. I guess Jack Dowdy's now been here 2.5 years. Obviously, Preston Edwards, an experienced player in our team. But we are lacking some team leaders. So longer term, and perhaps even this summer, obviously, a lot of what we do this summer is going to depend on, are we going to get promoted to the National League South or are we going to be stuck here for another year? But team leaders are probably going to be important. The issue that I have is it's difficult to attract experienced players because they tend to have higher wage demands than kind of young academy prospects who get released. You know, if I wanted someone who's as good as Sadiq is, but was, say, 30 years old and had an established professional career, they're just going to ask for more money. So with that in mind, it is something I'm a little bit wary of. At the moment, of course, it's not really holding down and holding back our team. But knowing that Gaylor is on his way out, knowing that Preston Edwards only has 6 months left of his current deal, you might be wondering, Jack, why are you not extending his deal? Firstly, his wage demands are just a little bit high. £240 I think is just too much. But also, he is 34. He has been declining. This year compared to last year, he's not quite put in the same level of performance. I feel like last year he had a lot more to do with a worse defence. Obviously, that was one area of the pitch we really overhauled massively. As a result, Preston Edwards, he hasn't wowed me as much, and I like a goalkeeper that's going to wow me. So yeah, watch this space when it comes to the hierarchy. I think that's something that is going to definitely influence perhaps some of the transfers that we make going into the summer. But as I said, the plan at the moment is kind of a bit unknown because, well, I don't know where we're going to be playing or even how much money we're going to have to spend. I've talked about the money very kind of intermittently, infrequently. I feel like every episode I kind of just flash up this screen for 5 seconds. The sad reality is we don't have that many fans who turn up to games. You can see we've made 30,000 through fundraising. Matchday income makes up 20,000, which are increases on the previous year, but compared to our expenditure, obviously don't quite cover things. Our wage spend for this year in terms of players is at 85,000. Of course, I am spending within the wage budgets. It's just a case of those budgets should probably be a little bit more reasonable and perhaps a little smaller in order to make this club sustainable. Compared to last season, you can already see how much more money we're spending in a lot of these areas. Of course, stuff like ground maintenance, non-football costs, scouting costs, loan repayments, they're all stuff that I don't have as much control over. I guess bonuses, player wages and staff wages we could look into more. But when you actually look at our staff, the majority of them are on month-to-month contracts because if I want to extend any of them, they suddenly want £180. The only player, or not the only player, the only staff member who I've actually given more money to is my assistant manager, Harry Wilson, just to keep him around. But he was on £50, suddenly on 170. And yeah, it gets a little bit pricey all of a sudden. And I don't really know what to do with the finances. Anyway, we'll talk more about this at the end of the video. And that's because I've got to take on St Albans. This is a game that I really, really want to win. And I've got to make sure I say St Albans, not St Albans, even though it begins with an A. If anyone saw this for the first time and wasn't from the area, they're going to say it's St Albans. They are. You can tell me otherwise, but I wouldn't believe you. Ultimately, if any of the teams that we play against are local to you, of course you're going to know how to say that place's name. As we've established with the English language, it doesn't really follow any rules. In the same way that Towlaw Town, if you saw it for the first time, you'd probably look at it and go, oh, that's Towlaw. But I don't know. I don't live local to these places. I do appreciate everyone who leaves the comments about the pronunciation stuff. Part of me likes to do them incorrectly on purpose because then you leave more comments trying to correct me and then we get more engagement. And really, I'm now revealing the dark arts. Shouldn't do this. But yeah, pronunciations, I do appreciate it when people try and help. I do try and take them on, but I am also just useless at talking, which, considering talking is my job, really isn't ideal. Anyway, we're off topic here. Team for today's game is this. I said that very convincingly, didn't I? No, this is the team for today's game. Gallimor's going to be on the bench. He has been out for a little while with an injury. Talked about the lack of injuries at this level. He picked up a twisted ankle after last episode. He missed a good few weeks through it, which is why Dowdy was back in the team. He's ended up performing well since he's come back in, so we're going to stick with him. Elsewhere, Gaylor's going to stick around at centre attacking mid. Still wants to leave the club at the end of the year. I don't think I can convince him to stay. I don't think that's a thing. I want to be wrong. We'll see. Maybe if we get promoted, we can change his mind. Elsewhere, worth being aware, Eppel is on the bench, and we also have Fitzgerald on the bench. So plenty of impact players, I feel like, all of a sudden, in the midfield, in the final third. Something that we've not really ever had before. But this is a big one. As I mentioned already, win this, go 4 points clear at the top of the table. And whilst there is a fair amount of football to be played, we put ourselves in a really, really good position with kind of the playoffs potentially looming on the horizon. Although, given how we've played so far, I feel like we should be playing to win the league. If we now lose this game, I will deny that I ever just said what I just said and will say playoffs is amazing. But we're in a great position. This is the kind of game that could make or break that playoff or promotion run. So important to get a result here. St Albans, unfortunately for us, going to put us on the back foot early on. Abella plays through Bell, hits it from range, hits the outside of the woodwork. Tobin, just get it away. Okay, that will do. Although, maybe it won't do because we're straight into another highlight. Abella trying to get on the end of it, but Molyneux reads it well. Now we will look to build out from the back. Sadiq, big ball forward to Ben, nods it down to Jones. Gaylor now with it. Plays through Jack Dowdy. What a pass by Gaylor. The Dowdy finish at the end of it over the crossbar, but it's a good chance. Goes begging. Less than 10 minutes in, we're into a third highlight. How am I meant to remain calm here? This is such a big game. I suppose it's better that we're getting loads of highlights than not many, because given the fact this is the only game in today's episode, if it was just a 0-0, that would be awkward. Although, I don't like seeing Matt Dibley Diaz score a goal. I feel like Dibley Diaz is it's like Brereton Diaz, isn't it? Just doesn't sound right. It's like an English name and then Diaz. He's like English but with some continental flair. Unfortunately for us, he's just scored. He's probably going to get called up for Chile now. Smashes it in. Preston Edwards looks like he's dodged the ball there. If you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a ball. The phrase is, if you dodge something that's not a ball, you can dodge a ball. I need to rewatch the film Dodgeball, apparently. So as things stand, if we were to lose this, we're back down in second. Only top spot gets an automatic promotion spot. Everyone else is in the playoffs. Oh my word, that was an insane tackle. I'm not sure who did that, but they've just saved our bacon. 5 minutes left, though. There's another highlight. I don't want to be down in second. A draw would be good enough to keep us top, but as things stand, we are on the back foot quite a lot here. St Albans have really taken the game to us. Dibley Diaz, the goal scorer. Abella, now with the ball, gives it to Bell, hits it. Preston Edwards. Preston. He was so good for us last year. I feel like he heard the bit of the pre-game spiel where I said he's been a bit quiet and I might not renew his contract. I mean, it was a spicy shot. It was a spicy shot. Too hot to handle, perhaps? I feel like I'm trying to give excuses. Ultimately, that is not very good goalkeeping. That is not a goal we should concede. I don't want to see if it was offside or not. It was onside by a mile. Game. Get me in at half-time. I want to have a go at these players. Although, Gaylor, I mean, last kick of the half? No. Not seen a direct free kick scored in a while, it feels like. So at the break here, we're 2-0 down despite having an XG of 1.56 to their 0.65. We've had more of the ball. I mean, you can see the XG story here. We've been the better team. We've not scored. Our goalkeeping's not been great. I'm going to tell the players you've been terrible so far and throw a water bottle. And you know what? The players can cry all they want. I don't give a Scooby-Doo. I mean, I feel better for the water bottle throw. Let's see if the players feel better for it. As we're straight into a highlight, Sainsbury makes a bit of a over-the-top save. I think that was one for the cameras behind the goal there from Thompson's header. Not sure if that was the highlight, though. There could be more here. We're only in the first minute of the second half. It's all action straight away. An early goal back for us will give us some hope. But with passes like that, I don't think a goal's going to come. We need to be... Maybe we need to just go a little lower tempo and shorter passing and try and work the ball into the box more here. We've had more of the ball, but it feels like we give the ball away way too much in highlights as Edwards, on the way to maybe redeeming himself, makes a good little save to tip it over the crossbar. Could still be a corner. Dibley Diaz to take it in front of the three gazebos. I don't know what Edwards has done there, but he's got it away from danger. It looked like he went up with two hands and kind of spilt it, but maybe it was a punch. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, Ben is bringing it forward from the corner. I mean, could we hit them on the counter? Ben whips it in. Thompson is not going to get there. I feel like this is a pointless highlight, but there's desperation in me wants to believe. Can we have something, please? Gaylor, Ben, Jones. We've not had a Gaylor banger in a little while. Gaylor, just give it to Gaylor and let him shoot. Ben hits it. It's in the back of the net. That one was too hot to handle as well. Apparently the goalkeepers today have lost the ability to catch. Ben and the goalkeeper having an argument over who's going to get the ball. It does not matter. 2 minutes into this half, it's been end-to-end stuff. And from one heroic save at one end to a slightly less heroic save at the other. Ben hammers it home. Feel like he doesn't score as many in live commentaries as he scores the rest of the time. So nice for him to get one on camera. See, he can score, other than that one time where he scored 4 in the first episode of the year. We are back in this game. We are on top in this game. I am demanding more. And you know what? Jack Dowdy's coming off for Gallimore. Elsewhere, I'm not going to make any other changes. I feel like we're winning the midfield battle right now, he says, as they now get a corner. It's going to be whipped in. Bell heads it. Sadiq gets it away from danger. I'm not going to mention his jumping reach. Every time Sadiq wins a header, I mention the number. Not doing it today. Edwards collects. An hour gone here. It's 2-1. We came back from behind against St Albans previously this year. Might need more of the same again today. Verdon, Sadiq. Wide to Tobin, who's going to look to bring it down the line. Little bit of space inside to pick out Thompson, who goes back to Tobin. Nice build-up play, but, well, I'm hoping this is going to result in something, because it's nice having all this possession. We do have to get it into the final third, but of course we've told the players to slow down the play a little bit more, try and work it into the box, try and craft out opportunities. Maybe like this. Ben has scored a header in off the crossbar. It's goal number 34 of the year. I did not think he was going to score the header from there. Did anyone else think that header was going in? I thought the keeper had it, but somehow it's got between the keeper's hand and the crossbar and into the back of the net. In fact, the keeper might have even balls that up there. That might have just been the keeper tipping it into his own goal. He's done a Jordan Pickford in the Merseyside derby there. 20 minutes left. We were 2-0 down. It's now 2-2. And this is another game where the micro adjustments I've made tactically have really worked wonders. Not overcomplicating things, not tearing down our whole system. Just a couple of little tweaks. And we're just playing with a newfound vigour, it feels like right now. Gallimore to Sadiq. St Albans look like they want the ball, but right now they just cannot get possession. As we look to build it through the middle. Gaylor. Ben was miles offside there. I'm not sure what he was doing. He's had his own little daydream. Sainsbury with the ball for them. Lumps it forward. Oh my God. Surely not. Aguirre's through. Aguirre scores. We've had such a good comeback. We played so good in this half. And then like a dagger through my heart, they just score an unsexy goal. Is unsexy a word? It is now. Look, that is unsexy football. Tobin is not the tallest player, so winning the ball in the air there was never really expected. But it's just one big ball over the top, and for all the lovely football we've played, it means absolutely diddly squat. I'm going to go on attacking. I'm going to demand more. I'm going to also, and this might be controversial, I'm going to take off Gaylor for Eppel. I'm bringing in Eppel, and I know that removes our set-piece threat, but I think Eppel has a bit more pace, has a bit more legs from open play. And, well, the new kid on the block is going to be thrown into the paddling pool here. We're going to see if he knows how to swim. If he doesn't, he's going to drown and it's going to be very awkward. Where is he? There he is. He takes the ball down. Eppel! Maybe he can't swim. Maybe we should have given him a life band or something. What are those things called that you put on your arm when you're a kid and you don't know how to swim? Life bands? That's not what they're called. Why am I drawing answers on a postcard? I don't know. Why are we talking about this here? There's 10 minutes left. I need another goal. What are they? You have life vests. Is it just armbands? I think they are just called armbands. They might be called something else elsewhere in the world. What are armbands called where you're from? I need a goal. Nothing's happening. Nothing's going in. And, I mean, Gaylor's got man of the match and I've subbed him off. But then, to be fair, I don't think he would have got in the situation Eppel got into because he's not quick enough. But Eppel missed a one-on-one. Eppel... You could have made me look like a genius. If that goes in, you all telling me I'm amazing at Football Manager in the comments. Now I'm going to have the Gaylor fan club turning up at my front door with pitchforks. Oh, now we're down in second and I just feel sad. We won 8 in a row. No, 7 in a row. It would have been 8 in a row. Seeding 3. Not good enough. Not good enough today. What I will say, and I think I mentioned this last episode, Gaylor's average ratings get massively inflated because he gets loads of key passes from set pieces. He actually didn't do that much in the game, but because he completed some set pieces, he suddenly gets an 8.5. The Football Manager match rating algorithm definitely needs some work. So unfortunately, with that, we're back down in second. Next time out, we will do an end-of-season live com. I think we'll do maybe 3 matches live. As I mentioned, Corinthian Casuals, one of the teams we might still have to play. And whilst, you know what, it looks quite convincing, doesn't it? 10 points in the playoffs. I know how Football Manager works. That is not a surefire thing by any means. As mentioned earlier, though, I do, before I leave things today, just want to talk about Park to Prem in general and where we're at, because I am really enjoying things at Three Bridges. I am very conscious of the fact my contract's up at the end of the year. I've asked the board a couple of times for coaching badges and stuff. We don't have the money to help me get my coaching badges and stuff. So that is a bit of a problem in terms of actually excelling as a manager, and it's possibly going to hold back any possibility of getting a job higher up the footballing pyramid, because it turns out coaching qualifications are quite important when you're a coach. Equally, I am conscious of the situation where we're in now, where we have no money, and if a takeover never really happens, we're just going to end up in a situation where I have no money to spend. The wage budget slowly gets lowered and lowered and lowered. And even if our wage budget was a third of what it is now, I think we would actually just still end up losing money. We're kind of in this weird predicament where I'm really enjoying things at Three Bridges. I love the team that we've built, but there is part of me that is a little bit concerned. How much longer can I really slog it out here without getting coaching badges if we don't get promoted this year? Or even if we do get promoted, is it just going to be a situation where we kind of hit a ceiling that we can't quite break through as a football club, kind of with the current financial constraints? And also, obviously, I need to be able to put food on the table. I've been working for £180 a week for a while now. It's less than £10,000 a year. It's below minimum wage. It's not really sustainable. So yeah, I'd really like to know what you think. How do you feel about things here at Free Bridges? Do we stick it out for the long haul? Is it a case of we try and take them to the very top? Or should I maybe just start to consider my options a little bit more? Keep an eye on jobs coming up elsewhere. Ultimately, I'm really enjoying things here, but I do like moving around with Park to Prem. And I do feel like if a really good Vanarama National South team came knocking, maybe Lewis FC, who we've managed before, it'd be very hard to say no to go back to a team like that perhaps have just a little bit more infrastructure. Of course, Free Bridges have never been to this level before. We don't have that many fans. It's going to be a rough journey, I feel like, up the divisions without some kind of miracle or something drastically happening that really alters the infrastructure we have here. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But anyway, gang, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Next episode, we're going to have the end of season live. I hope you're ready for it. I'm hoping we're going to be battling for the title. Although if we made the playoffs this year, that would still be a really good achievement. But disappointing result today. Got to put it to the back of our mind. Got to go again tomorrow. I hope to see you guys then. And until next time, it is me, Jack. I'm sorry that I never say anything correct when it comes to pronunciations. Just keep leaving the comments about it. It feeds the algorithm. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out, guys. Take care.